This is a 70-year-old American anti-tank gun. You'd think it belongs in a museum, but here it is, mounting the spotlight in Venezuela's latest military drills. How does a Cold War relic still threaten modern battlefields? Let's break it down. We'll rewind to the weapon's origin, dig into why the design still works, and explain why countries with limited budgets are giving this classic new life. By the end, you'll understand why vintage doesn't mean useless. The origin story. The year: 1955. The problem: infantry needed a portable weapon that could defeat post-WWII armor. The M27 tried, and failed. Too heavy, incompatible ammo, and awkward. Then the M40 arrived, lighter, simpler, and deadly. Built as a solution to the M27's mistakes, the M40 was designed to be crew-operated, transportable, and lethal, a definitive infantry anti-tank tool of its day. How the M40 works. Technically, it's a recoilless rifle. Instead of a heavy recoil, it vents gas out the back to counterbalance the shot, which lets a massive shell be fired from a tripod or light vehicle. Fun quirk: it's called the 106mm M40, but the bore is actually 105mm, a naming trick to stop soldiers from shoving old M27 ammo into a new gun. The M40 is big, roughly 11 feet long and 462 pounds, single shot, breech loading, run by a 2 to 3 person crew. Its cleverest bit: the M8C.50 spotting rifle mounted on top. The gunner would fire the spotting rifle first. It had the same trajectory as the main round, and when the spotting round puffed, they'd walk the impact onto the target. Once the puff sat on target, they'd fire the main 105mm heat shell. That increased first shot hit probability, crucial when your backblast gives you away. Heat rounds use a shaped charge, making a molten jet that can pierce hundreds of millimeters of armor, enough to gut the side or rear of many tanks, and devastating to light armor and fortifications. Combat record and limits. The M40 shone in Vietnam, mounted on jeeps, trucks, and the M50 Ontus. It demolished bunkers, stopped vehicles, and broke morale. But it came with big trade-offs: enormous backblast that gives away position, exposed crew, and slow rate of fire. The result: shoot and scoot became essential. The US eventually moved to ATGMs, guided missiles, more expensive, but safer for the crew and more lethal at range. Still, thousands of M40s were exported or sold, and those exported guns didn't vanish. The Venezuelan connection. On November 9, 2025, Venezuela released footage of large drills showing vehicle-mounted M40A1s. Why use them now? 3 reasons. Economics. Sanctions and tight budgets limit access to new ATGMs. The M40 is already in inventory, spare parts are known, and local workshops can refurbish them. Cheaper to operate than modern guided missiles. Tactics. Venezuela's likely threats aren't necessarily Abrams tanks. They're lighter armored vehicles, APCs, and defensive fortifications. Against those, the M40 is still deadly. Simplicity and training. The M40 is mechanical and straightforward. It's easier and faster to train large numbers to use than a modern missile system, which means broader distribution across militia and regular units. They've even adapted mounts to local tuner trucks and added optics to improve aiming. Low-tech upgrades that boost battlefield utility. Why old can still be dangerous. In war, the best tool is the one you can field reliably. The newest tech isn't always the right answer. Numbers, logistics, and tactics matter. A cheap, effective, and well-placed M40 can still ruin a modern force's day, especially in urban, jungle, or mixed terrain where heavy tanks can be ambushed from flanks and rear arcs. So yes, the M40A1 is a modern threat in the right context. Not because it outperforms modern missiles, but because it's affordable, adaptable, and fits the strategic reality of countries like Venezuela. What do you think? Is there a place for old tech in modern wars? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more military tech deep dives.